So my second film today was a French film I have been meaning to watch for almost 10 years, as it is almost 10 years old. This is Arnaud Desplechin, hopefully I said that right, A Christmas Tale, also known as Un conte de Noël, and it stars literally everybody. The main cast, or at least the main cast names that you would recognize, are Catherine Deneuve, Anne Consigny, Mathieu Amalric, Chiara Mastroianni, and Emmanuelle Devos. I really love Emmanuelle Devos. I've seen her in several films in the last few years, and I need to catch up on the rest of her filmography because she's fantastic and I like her a lot. Chiara Mastroianni obviously is the daughter of Catherine Deneuve and Marcello Mastroianni, and she looks exactly as if you took two pictures of them and meshed them together. It is scary. But the real sort of MVP of this film and my favorite French actor is Mathieu Amalric. I love him. He's good in everything. And evidence to that is in this film, he plays such an asshole, and yet because he's so lovable that you understand why he's such an asshole, and you're kind of enjoying watching him be an asshole. The film mostly takes place a few days before Christmas. It doesn't say what year, but there's posters for the New World, so let's say 2006. And the mother of the family, Catherine Deneuve, has discovered that she has cancer and needs bone marrow. Many years earlier, 30 plus years earlier, their oldest son, Joseph, had died needing bone marrow and no one being a match. The parents weren't a match. They had their second son, Mathieu Amalric's character. He was not a match. They'd already had their daughter, played by Anne Consigny. She wasn't a match. And then they had a third son, but by then their son had died. So that's sort of looming over this entire family. Also, 6 years earlier, the daughter, who's now the oldest child, had, as all adults, got her brother out of bankruptcy under the terms that he get banished from the family. And it appears the family was okay with that and didn't really have much contact with him for 6 years. However, now that their mother is dying and they all need to get tested for bone marrow, he's back. And not only back, but back at Christmas. There's also some drama with her son, who is having a sort of a psychotic break. He's 16. This is not great. There's also a bunch of sort of underlying tension between the youngest son, played by Emmanuelle Devos, and his wife, Chiara Mastroianni, and the fact that at one point her character sort of had the hots or flirted or what have you when you're young with both Mathieu Amalric's character and their cousin, played by Laurent Capelluto. So you've got a lot of things going on. On top of that, you have the dad. He's very happy-go-lucky, played by Jean-Paul Roussillon. He's quite good. He won a César Award for his performance. And there's just a lot of chaos happening in these days. It's sort of like in American-made chaotic family movies, a lot of stuff would happen that wouldn't happen in real life. I'm thinking Meet the Parents with the ashes and things like that. Things that are heightened comedy, right? But in this film, everything that happens feels like it would really happen. At one point, Mathieu Amalric's character insults everybody and someone punches him in the face. At another point, Emmanuelle Devos and Catherine Deneuve go shopping together, and Catherine Deneuve's character just leaves her. She's done. There's all kinds of things like that. They're watching movies. There's a whole bunch of films in this. There's a shot of the 1935 version of Midsummer Night's Dream. There is Funny Face, and there is the Ten Commandments, of all things. Basically, there's a lot of fighting and anger and love and confusion and everything you could imagine when a huge family gets together, and there's lots of elephants in the room that no one really wants to talk about. Also in the film, also the technique of the film shifts, and it's very self-conscious of itself, and parts of it feel natural and parts of it feel very stylistic. Like there's a use of, I don't know what that's called anymore, but where it zooms in like the silent films, with the black masking on the sides. There's moments where characters just confessional style speak straight to the camera. There's voiceover. The voiceover narrator changes. It flashes back and forth. There's pictures of the various children when they were young. There's all kinds of things happening in this film. And I think overall I enjoyed it. It's a bleak, dark comedy. It's very mordant and very sort of harsh. And there's not a lot of love here. Like this is a family that is a family, but the idea of like warm familial love is not what you get from this, other than the relationship between Deneuve and Roussillon. Like the parents, you can feel it. You can feel their love, and everyone else just feels like they're sort of, and the siblings, the brothers attempt, have a sort of a blind love for each other. But everyone else sort of just puts up with everybody. And everyone's all trying to tell the Emmanuelle Devos character, she's the girlfriend of Mathieu Amalric, that she's like wasting her time. And part of you is like, girl, you kind of are wasting your time, but you can also see that she really enjoys him being an asshole. There's a pea for every pod. So I liked this film. I think it tried a lot. It's 2.5 hours, so it's an epic. It's a family epic. But I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed all the performances and everything. All the relationships felt real, and the characters all felt lived in. And I don't know that I cared for all of the artistic choices, and bits of it felt a little disjointed. But the overarching themes of loneliness and isolation within family resonated really well. And there's some scenes with Mathieu Amalric's character where I was like, you are a mess, but also like I have behaved similarly. Like I've never been quite as brash as he is, but I've definitely had thoughts and expressed them similarly. So it's good. The main thing I think I got from it, and this is just from personal meanness, I guess, is that it's one of those ones where I look at that and I go, why stay in these situations? Like so many of them are so miserable in this family unit. Like why stay in it if you just stop, build your own family. That's what I have to say. So I would recommend watching this. It's great. You can get it on the Criterion Collection. There's a lot of extras. It's on Filmstruck right now. All of those extras are streaming, so you can watch it. There's like 4 documentaries. I did not watch them yet. What else? I've not seen anything else, I think, by Arnaud Desplechin. Let's see. I don't think I have. Oh. No, but he did several other films with both Mathieu Amalric and Emmanuelle Devos that I really want to see, so I'm going to find those. I love him so much. Okay. This was A Christmas Tale and Conte Noël. If you want a bleak, mordant, dark family comedy for this holiday season, definitely check this one out.